What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another episode. My name is Josh, and I am just an average Joe day trader. And I'm here to share with you guys the best stocks for day trading, the stocks that I trade in and out of every day. And we're going to talk a little bit about what happened in the market today. So let's get started. Let's talk about market. Today is Wednesday, May 14th. Another solid green day, guys. Another solid green day. This morning when I got up, I jumped right into the S&P 500. I wanted to kind of understand what was the flow, what was trending. When I went to bed last night, I didn't realize, but I was on my Webull account on my MacBook, and I wasn't actually seeing 24-hour trading. For some reason, my Webull account on my MacBook updated. Now it doesn't show me the 24 hours. So now I got to get back on my TradingView account. And most likely as our videos go forward, you'll see me probably using TraderView a little bit more. So we capture that overnight 24-hour stuff, because I went to bed and I was feeling like, pretty good. You know, stock market's doing pretty good. It held pretty well from post-market. But I realized that, when I went to look at it this morning, I woke up that certain stocks that I'm in for long-term holds, so, certain retirement stock accounts that I have were up considerably. I'm like, what the heck happened? My Tesla stock, like, legit bounced up like $10 a share. And I was like, okay, something right here. And so when I grabbed my phone and looked at my Webull account, I wasn't seeing the 24-hour runs. And so last night into this morning, all the tech, sector stocks for the most part ran up. Tesla ran up, and had a considerable result. It was at like $344 per share, which is like, I mean, guys, honestly, it was just less than 300 a few days ago. APLD was running high. The S&P 500 had bounced up. Everything was running up, and even Nvidia has been cranking and still continues to crank. And we'll take a look in the charts a little bit at those. But anyway, let's kind of talk about what did happen today in the news that caused this market to basically have a third green day in a row this week. I mean, it's been a rarity with the volatility to have a week where we're green every single day. And it almost actually makes it a little bit conflicting, because you want to jump in and out of trades as a retail day trader like myself, but then you're almost sort of like, well, when's the drop going to happen? Like I'm looking at the candlesticks, I'm looking at volume, I'm looking at resistance and support lines, and it's primarily just not going back down to support. It's mostly moving up and tracking in an upward momentum towards new, resistance lines. So entry's been a little bit difficult. I'm not going to tell you I didn't enter. Your boy over here made money in APLD. I make money in APLD just about every single day I trade APLD. And I've shared with you through many videos that I was bag holding APLD on my Webull account at about 560 something per share. And I told you yesterday that we finally broke through, or this morning I told you we broke through that main resistance level, that 560 something resistance level for APLD. And I said, once that does that, it's going to crack $6 and keep moving. Well, it did. It got all the way up to $6.23, $6.19, somewhere around there. And then I was kind of monitoring it for a while. And I said, you know what? I was in it, at that point in profit. And I think I sold out of it at $6.15. My son sold out at $6.18. And I pulled, I want to say, I'll put it up on the screen here. I pulled just over $500 in profit from APLD today, based in the Webull account. But now I'm back to powder. It's in unsettled cash. I can't wait tomorrow morning to wake up and see all that settled cash in there, so I can wash, rinse, repeat, man, get in and out of it more today. I also bought into Webull itself. Webull was all the way down to $14. It dropped to 13. I got in at 13.50. It even dropped a little bit lower today. And I'm in Webull now. And everyone's talking about Webull. Everyone's saying that the Webull is going to at some point follow Robinhood. Robinhood's over $50 per share. I haven't looked at it today. We'll look at that on the chart as well. But I'm in Webull, and I'm going to hold on that for a little while. And then Wolf, WULF, I bought into that on a dip. And again, This is my second day that I've bought the dip on Wolf and decided to hold as a swing. The analysts have rated this a $9 stock, and we believe within the next few weeks it probably will. So WULF for me is off limits, and I will not be trading WULF as a day trade stock, at least not on my Webull account. WOLF, I probably will. And some of the other ones that I share with you guys, obviously APLD, WOLF, Ford, SoFi, guys, man, still cracking above $14 and running. Just everything. What a beautiful green market day. But in the news itself, that was probably more info than you guys wanted up front. The S&P 500 up about 0.10%, closed at 5892, guys, 5,892 points. It just continues to edge towards 6,000 points. And this is its third consecutive day of gains. And just really, the market's been fun to be in, and watching all of the different, different types of stocks and areas just booming. But, you need to understand there's still, many factors influencing the market. Obviously, the whole trade tensions and what's still going on there. But, recent developments, the talks with the UK, the agreement with the UK, talks with China, the pause have really, kind of given us a cool off period of time in this trade war. And, it's almost like both nations have declared this ceasefire, which has led to an improved investor sentiment. Investors are loving the fact that we're in the ceasefire, and that's why the markets are rallying. And there's some really good things going on because of that. The tech sector, I've shared with you guys, tech and energy, utility are the two top areas, at least for me, that I'm monitoring and have been making great gains. Technologies, driver has really been because of NVIDIA and AMD, guys. AMD is back on the page. Their stocks have really risen quite a bit, and that was based on the U.S. government's decision to rescind that previous rule that restricted the spread of AI technology. So now there's new AI-related agreements that are being announced by President Trump, especially during his Middle East tour, which has further, created a confidence for investors in this industry. And if you're not in it, guys, you need to really pay some attention, do some homework in tech stocks. APLD is one of them. BBAI, AMD, NVIDIA. There's, just to mention a few. And there's some ranges in pricing on some of those stocks. You can get some low $2, $3 stocks and some all the way up in the hundreds. It all depends what your, account looks like. So guys, a lot of news going on. Some of the other news that have affected the market a little bit today, there's been a lot of companies that have really exceeded earnings. We saw the last 2 weeks, based on the volatility, companies that were dropping during earnings. It doesn't necessarily make the stock go down, but it does have an earnings result does cause stock to drop and then come back up and rebound. I've told you guys I like earnings because I can get in and buy at the low when they announce earnings and then let it ride back up and make more money there. This whole thing with NVIDIA, basically President Trump striking a deal in Saudi Arabia with Humain, HUMAIN. People are loving this right now, man. Investors are loving it. I love it because it's only going to continue to help the stock market stay green. But AMD, NVIDIA, they're a big part of that, venture that we're going to do with Saudi Arabia. So market sentiments, guys, market sentiments. At the end of the day, it's a mixed day, but I'm all positive. And let me tell you why I'm all positive. There's a lot of people that look at that news and say, yeah, there's some positive news, some negative news, and it could cause the stock market to run up, or it could cause the stock market to run down. Yeah, you're right, guys. Absolutely. But guess what? As a retail day trader, it don't bother me. I'm not concerned with the news. I'm sharing the news with you guys because I like to know every day what's happening in the news. But if you understand your resistance level and you understand your support level, and your stocks that you're looking at continue to go up and down in that channel, unless it hits the resistance level and breaks up, which is not bad news, or it hits the support level and breaks down, which is bad news, then you have nothing to worry about. Look at the stocks, look at the volume, and when, for me personally, even APLD, personally, when APLD hits that bottom level of support, and the candles start to bounce against the support, and you just see ping, 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 and then you get green where the sellers are overruled by the buyers, and the buyers say, hey, no, time to go back up, then you see it just ding, 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 back up. Now it might hit that resistance level again, but hey, guess what, guys? You could have a dollar from the support line to the resistance line, where a stock could go, like ABLD, from $5 and something cents to $6 and something cents. And then when it hits that resistance level and it's banging against the resistance level, and you see that it's being rejected, sell it and get out, and then wait for it to drop back down, and guys, do it again. That's my strategy. There's nothing more to the strategy. Play the support and resistance levels and understand your candlestick patterns, okay, guys? And I've been promising for a while I'm going to put some candlestick video training out there. I'm working on it. I have a bunch of them right here on my desk that I've worked on and I'm ready to go. I just need to set the time to do some recording, and I will find the time to do that over the next several weeks. Let's get into some of the charts, guys, and let's see what that looks like. Obviously, market's closed right now, so we're going to start with where I always end my day and start my day, and we're going to go right here to, where is it? There it is. Beautiful SPY, the S&P 500. So you can see, guys, that we were running about $580 per share in the pre-market yesterday, and had this significant run up and closed market yesterday at $586.48. Had a little bit of a retest in the post market, and it continued to carry. And then pre-market morning at, let's see, 7:30 in the morning, it went from 587 up to 588. Okay, but actually we're going to do this. It was really 586.41 all the way up here to 588.51. And then it had some up and down. You know, I'm looking at a 30-minute here. So let me give you guys a 15-minute. It had some ups and downs, volatility today, S&P 500, but it did its thing. And it closed at 587.59. Hello. It's sitting at 586.69 right now. And like I said, another successful day for the S&P 500. What did that do for us? So guys, if you're like me and you're in this account, then you'll see my NVIDIA today, and I'm going to kind of come out a little bit. You see we closed the market at 129.54. Same bump at about 7:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Open at 132.46, ran up to 133.87. Okay. And then it just continued on and up. And it's in the post market right now, closed at 135.34, sitting at 135.48. But man, it had a beautiful run today, and nothing bad about NVIDIA. Again, it was funny because I was talking to my guys and said, hey guys, what do you think? You know, I'm so in the profit on NVIDIA. Should I sell it? Is there potential that this thing's going to turn around and make a run down? Like, you know, obviously in the 50-minute, you see this, you know, like to live in the 30-minute a little bit better. But, you know, they're all like, you're crazy. And I didn't think about this, guys, but NVIDIA has earnings on May 28th. May 28th is earnings day. So if it holds and it stays in this, you know, 125, 135, or it continues to run, if we continue to get good green news, you know, then earnings, there's a potential for this thing to explode. So I'm going to hold it out. I'm going to leave it. This is a long-term portfolio stock for me anyway, so I'm not touching it. Okay, Wolf, guys, great results today. You know, came down from a little bit from yesterday, but, you know, there was a great opportunity to make some good money in Wolf today. So if you day traded Wolf, WULF, you'll see that, you know, we had a drop down candle wick to 355. So you can see here that we pretty much had a high today of about $3.70. So, you know, depending on where you played in, I know a few people that bought in here at 362 and rode this little bit of wave to 370. You know, not huge today for WULF, but again, for me, although I do like to day trade this one because you can see in other days, look at this. This was the day before. You could have got in at 363 and literally ran this thing all the way up here to 383, so 20 cents per share. Guys, at $3 and, you know, what is that? I said $3 and you know, 63 cents per share. Okay, you buy 1,000 shares for $3,600. Not bad, not bad. You can make a good return on it. But WULF is good. WOLF yesterday had a nice run. Today was on a bit of a run down most of the day. Had some up potential at the end of the day. But 366, it's right now up in 384 in post market. So you could have bought in around here at the down bottom of this 366 and, rode it through either close of market 382 or continue to stay in it 384. But again, a lot of people like this. My brother-in-law loves this stock and he trades it daily. It's one I haven't spent a whole lot of time in, but I'm going to continue to monitor. APLD, guys, look at APLD today. Okay. I'm telling you, I called it, and I don't want to say I have a crystal ball or anything, and I don't get it right all the time, but I've been telling you, we cracked that resistance level of 568. It's going to go. And it did, got all the way to 628. And up here, $6.19, $6.19. I mean, nice high. I sold out at $6.15 and took a nice profit, over $500 in profit today just from APLD. I'll show you guys that on the screen because, often I talk about how I make money, but I don't generally show you the account and all that. I'll put it up there for you today because I want you to understand, I want you to believe that, this is a great stock and you get in it, you can make some really good money on APLD. It's very consistent, very good track record. The day before, same thing. You could have rode this first candle, on the 15, brought it down, rode it all the way back up. Day before had some good candle opportunities. Remember, we're looking at the 15-minute, same thing. If you let it run down, you ride it back up. So I'm waiting to see what APLD does in the post market into pre and, 605. And again, I can't see it. So there potentially could be up. It says 605 in the after market up. Yeah. And it still turned green. It's turned red again. So we're still actually seeing it until 8 o'clock. So APLD, guys, great one. Definitely get into that. JetBlue had a nice run today too, guys. Finally broke $5. It'd been in the low 3s and 4s for a while. So I'm very happy to see that, this is where we've been right here. Basically, 3s and 4s, this represents, more than a month. So April 2nd, April 1st. So, in the 3 and 4 range, bang, now over $5. I'm super excited about that because I love JetBlue. I trade JetBlue daily when it works. I don't do it every day, but I do use JetBlue as a day trader. Okay. BBAI is another one I mentioned to you guys. This is a tough one. I day trade BBI on occasion. Yesterday I had a great BBI day. Today was kind of one I would have sat on the sideline because the pre-market was brutally killer. Okay. You're talking basically it went from, let's see what time, that's 7. Okay. 4:30 in the morning, opened up at 372 and ran pre-market all the way up to $4.16. Right. I mean, huge. And it wicked all the way up to $4.37, which meant, hey, still room to go. But it hit this resistance level of $4.04 and it started to, reject, came down, came back up and tried. And you can see here, if you've never seen how I chart, this is a good example. So double top, it rejected, pushed it back down. The sellers were winning, pushed it all the way down here. And now it's steadily on its way back up. Closed at 385. It's at 388 right now. Bought Webull today. The reason why I bought Webull is because yesterday I considered buying Webull and it was in that $14 range and it sort of ran horizontal. It went up and I'm like, okay, I'm probably not buying Webull. And then boom, couldn't tell you exactly what happened here, but it dropped big time. The financial sector actually did have some struggles today. Which was fine. And I was thrilled because it went all the way to 1326. Didn't catch it, wasn't paying attention to it until I realized like, wow, this thing dropped significantly. And so I bought in at 1350 and probably going to look tomorrow morning to see what it does. Might buy more of it because this is going to be, same as Robinhood. So if you go to the Robinhood stocks, well, hold on a second. There's Robinhood. It's sitting at $61.01 after market, $61.39, guys. Okay, and if you go to the daily, this is basically the Webull story. Okay, you look here, it's in the 20s, $13.98, guys. Okay, $11. When it first launched, when it first opened, and I don't know if I can even find that. Let me see if I can find the weekly. Let's go to monthly. Okay, yeah. It opened Robinhood and shot up to $85. Okay, and now it's sitting at $61. Okay, so this is the Webull story right here, just with the name Robinhood. So, guys, take a look at it. Do some research. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm in it. I'm excited about it. I'm going to continue to trade in a little bit more, buy a little bit more of it. Just to have it, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a great stock for us. And I'm going to pull it back up so you guys can see it again one last time. $13.83 right now. Even in the post market, guys, it closed at $13.52. It's at $13.83. So I'm already in the green, but I'm not taking it. I'm not touching it. SoFi was another one, $14.03 closed. It's at $14 right now. If this continues to run down, because again, that financial sector came down, continues to run down. If I can get it just back into 13, I'm getting in. I'm getting back in. I think I told you guys I bought it in the mid to high nines, and I sold it at 13, which was last week. And I should have never sold it. I should have just held on to it. So, but it is what it is. All right, guys, listen, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. I know I've got some new subscribers that recently jumped on, guys. Thank you so much. Drop a comment for me. Let me know who you are, where you're from. Ask questions. Anything that you want to ask me, let me know. Would love to answer your questions. I'm here in South Florida, Palm Beach, and one of our dedicated subscribers, James, is in Mud, Michigan. And is doing pretty good in his trading journey. And we're doing it together. We're in it together, guys. Join with us and stick with us. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't and you're new here. Hit the like button for me, guys. As many of you as you can. I want to continue to grow this channel together as a community. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll have a recap and an update for you in the morning. Josh out. Peace.